Hello, today I'm talking to someone I've known for a number of years, David Campbell.
Yeah.
Many people know him around the area as the person behind the creation of the Strathern Art Space. And of course, quite a lot of artists know him as for teaching life drawing. David is now working on his own work. It's quite an interesting way that David works. We worked together on the Creef Couches project last year, and that was incredibly different to the way David usually works.
Yeah. Very.
So, David, would you like to explain a bit about your technique?
Um, well, the technique's based on a sort of technique known as the Venetian technique, which is basically working on in very thin layers of paint. Um, so you start off with an impasto layer of paint. That's thick paint, and then you work on it. Then you would add a translucent layer of paint on top of it, and you can these are known as glazes. Um, each painting can have upwards of 40 layers of paint
Oh,
on each painting, all of which takes the paint has to be dry before you apply the next layer. Although you can sometimes work wet into wet, which is just depending on how the image works. Um, But yeah, it's essentially the work I've been doing at the moment is based on work by the Italian artist Caravaggio or Michelangelo Marizia, from
well,
Caravaggio.
I remember at Christmas time we did a pop up gallery shop. Do you remember?
Yes.
And you brought in a painting that we could easily have pulled off as a Caravaggio found in your attic.
Yes.
It was very Christmassy, I thought. Um, a candle-lit carol singer. That's what he looked like to me.
Yes. Yeah.
How long did it take you to finish?
Um, well, that one took me about 4 months. Um, the reason being is I haven't actually done any painting for about 8 years now,
Mm.
and I had to relearn. Um, so I'm still going through that process, which is why I've been working on these Caravaggios, because it's a good way to learn it, relearn the technique,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and get my hand skills up to scratch um, after such a long period of doing very little um, of my own work.
So you're not a person that goes splish, splash, splosh.
No, well, although I have done, uh, I did do quite a lot of kind of abstract landscapes many years ago.
Yes. How do
Um,
you choose the subject matter for your Caravaggio type paintings?
um, well, essentially, I was looking for uh, individual figures. I didn't want to do any paintings with multiple figures. It's too much like hard work. So, yeah, the criteria would be looking for an individual figure. And the thing with Caravaggio, it was particularly interested in play of light against dark. So most of his work appears to have been painted at night,
Yeah.
almost by candlelight, which actually suits me quite well because it means I can get on and do other things during the daytime and work at night.
Well, I know that during lockdown you've got your whole family at home with you just now, so it must be
Yeah,
quite hard to find the time. Because I know that you make a lot of bread and you're a great cook, so
yeah.
that
Well,
that'll take up your day.
yes, there's quite a number of things. Chopping wood as well.
And
And,
chopping wood.
um,
And I can see all behind you is all these bottles and things. You've found a nice quiet space at home as your studio
well,
with
we've got a
all
wee
the
bothy,
pieces.
a wee
Ah,
bothy that in olden days the farm workers would sleep in here.
wow.
Um, so yeah, that's attached to the house. So it's turned into a wee studio sort of office space.
So you can escape to the
Yes,
body.
yeah, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Away.
And do you ever actually try to work by candlelight?
Uh, no, I use turpentine far too much. I think it might be a
Oh,
bit of a fire risk.
yeah, yeah. Boom.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And are you trying to get into the gallery market again, or are you just doing this for your own personal love of art?
um, no, I think certainly we'd be looking to exhibit again. So it's I think the work still needs a bit more work on it to get
Well,
before.
you've only spent 2 months on this one.
I know.
It's got another 2 months to go.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I wouldn't take that long. It does go backwards and forwards as time goes on.
Um, Life drawing classes
Yes.
round the
Yes.
corner in Comrie Street.
Yes. Yes. That was quite fun.
It
Everybody
was,
smashed in.
it was. And it
Yeah.
meant it was one of the few things at the time where artists, because these classes were for artists, you met other people,
Yes.
doing art.
Hmm. Yeah.
in the
The thing I discovered through doing the lifetime classes was the amount of actual artists that are actually working in this area. It's incredible. And
Yeah.
and the, the 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 quality and standard of people is really
Mhm.
um, it's really amazing. And
Yeah,
some people really well known in the field as well.
I know, it's incredible. The area is very arty. And
Mm-hmm.
I suppose that would have been something that drove you and your partner at the time, Tom Barron,
uh
into trying to get the art space for artists to use.
Yes, yes. Well, originally we were looking for somewhere a bigger space to run the drawing classes, um, and we after as most people know the story about getting the old library,
Yeah.
um, was we went in there and it was far too big to be just an artist studio. So
Mhm.
that's how the whole art space kind of grew out of that. Um,
Yeah.
is it, but we ran classes up in the art room at Morrison's Academy as well.
I mean, it's a wonderful thing that you did for the town, getting the art space up and running, and you stuck with it for so long through thick and
Mm,
thin. I remember there was an item in the local newspaper, the Strathearn Herald, uh, with a not very flattering picture of yourself beside a boiler
yes,
going, oh, we're freezing here. And it was a
yes.
call out because the boiler was so old.
The people of Crieff and surrounding area were incredibly generous. We needed to raise, I think it was £4,500 for a new boiler, um, and to cover the labour. And within 2 weeks, we achieved it.
Amazing, amazing. I know
Yeah.
because people really appreciated what you
Yes.
were doing there.
Hmm.
However, you've left that now. I know, and I know that the art space is for really principally now for punters to use, whereas you're still trying to find a place for artists to use. And I
Yes.
know that you have
Yes.
some ideas along that line.
Yes. Yes. Well, we've got some things in the pipeline we're kind of working on.
Hmm.
That could be quite interesting for um, creative people in Crieff, and also for sort of encouraging visitors from further afield to come and visit Crieff. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
we have the real potential to show that the creative people in Strathearn are kind of a force to be reckoned with.
There's so many artists and makers. There's lots of
Mhm.
craftspeople around the area as well,
Yes.
and yet they don't really get recognised. The Crieff isn't understood as a very arty town, and
No.
so it could really be a central point for that. Then we were very well supported at the Christmas pop-up gallery.
Yes, that was pretty incredible. I think we had 54, 55 different exhibitors.
Yes, yes.
Um,
And we sold lots.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, getting that number of people with 24 hours notice is pretty incredible.
I'll leave everybody with a picture of your finished Caravaggio, and and we hope that the unfinished boy peeling fruit, at some point we'll see that for real finished.
I think Caravaggio spent a few years doing them. So
Yes. Okay, David. Thank
okay,
you.
bye bye.
Bye.